I just figured I'd talk about how Charlie's murders affected me. This is probably more of a just an archive video, not really a video that I'm making for anyone else to view. Uh, and nobody views any of my videos, whether I made them for you to view or not. So I don't even know why I'm prefacing with that, but just kind of wanted to get some of my own thoughts out to myself. So I got a lot of problems, man. So I had a really tough childhood growing up. I think some of that messed me up, but I think I also might just have some issues. Like, I don't know, I think I might be on the spectrum, and I just was never diagnosed. I don't know. But I also, battled anxiety and depression, which I do think has to do with my completely messed up childhood. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to sort those things out, whether, there's actually a neurodivergent issue or the way I am is more of just, anxiety and depression. But I don't think I've ever gotten a proper evaluation, but when I did get an evaluation, they always just said I had anxiety and depression. So I don't know. Maybe this, my thoughts that it's a spectrum thing has more to do with just like my isolation recently. When I left the Army and I couldn't really get a job that I thought was commensurate with my experience and ability, I ended up just deciding to manage my properties and try to develop new properties as my quote-unquote job. But even though it's worked out financially for me quite well, I mean, considering how I grew up, I'm shocked at my financial situation. I hope you don't take that as a brag. It's not a brag, it's just an honest assessment of, like, I cannot believe that the way I grew up and really the way my life's gone, because it's not like I've had a successful career. It's just I had like one period of time where I had a successful career, and where I was able to go from private to captain, become an officer and stuff. That 11-year period, which included 2 deployments where I was single during those deployments, and you're getting paid extra money, and I just saved it all. And I just saved a shitload of money, and I just invested it, and it worked out. I mean, I can see how people are like ultra rich, because the stuff I'm doing, the stuff I've done investment-wise has just been like really basic shit that is not like super high profit margin, and it has, it's made me wealthy doing virtually nothing. Just buying properties and letting them appreciate, and building, having one successful development project and then another one that failed, but somehow the land like increased 3 times in value, and I was able to make a huge profit even after failing the development. I was able to make a huge profit just selling the land, and the other stuff is just like dumping money into the S&P 500. Like, the stuff just isn't complicated. It's like, if you just do the smart thing, I mean, what a country, But anyway, I'm off on a tangent. But my real point is, so I'm just making the point that somehow the financial side is great, and also the family side is great. Now my issues cause problems in my marriage, but I have a marriage and I have 2 kids. I mean, I think this video has helped me to actually see that there's a lot of good in my life, but me personally, just me, it's like I've just been sitting around doing nothing, like playing video games and stuff, for like a decade now. And I feel strongly like I'm suffering from cognitive decline. Like, I don't think I'm as smart as I used to be. It's like there's just a lot of symptoms. Like, my memory is so friggin' bad, man. And I know, like, sometimes I hope this is what it is. I know sometimes it's like it's just a symptom of depression. I hope that's what it is. I hope it's not like real cognitive decline where like I'm gonna have Alzheimer's and not know who the hell I am in 10 years or something. But it really, is kind of scary sometimes. My forgetfulness. Like, my wife will ask me stuff she'll ask me if I remember stuff, and I have no memory of it. Like, she'll be like, remember when we went to this restaurant? And it's just, no, I have no memory of going to that restaurant. And like one big example that just happened is my wife was getting ready to go on a trip, and she kept saying how everyone in her family kept asking her about her wallet, whether she had her wallet. And I was like, this is weird the way they're like obsessed with your wallet. What's the deal? And she's like, really? You don't remember? And I was like, what? And she's like, you don't remember that the last time I went on a trip, I forgot my wallet. And then when she said that, then I remembered it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. You forgot your wallet, and a friend had to come bring you money at the gas station and stuff. So it was like, I was able to, like, once prompted, I remembered it. But up until that point, it just wasn't registered in my brain. You know what I mean? It's like stuff like that where, like, things just don't click to me. And it's like, it's a really uncomfortable feeling, because I used to be extremely intelligent. Like, I was never very good. I was always socially awkward and stuff, but the one thing I did have going for me was I was very intelligent. Like, I would get like 97 percentile on every standardized test, you know. I got 99 on the ASVAB and had a 140 GT score, which was like nobody else in the Army that I knew. I mean, I'm sure there are other people. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm freaking Albert Einstein. There's plenty of people that are much smarter than I am, you know. But I was definitely solidly above average, you know, like a pretty smart guy. And now I feel like I'm an idiot, honestly. Now, I do have a lot of knowledge still that's been built up through my whole life, you know, but it's like my ability to attain new knowledge, like my ability to retain information right now is just like awful. You know, I don't know. What is the point of this video? I don't even know. Yeah, the point of the video, though, is the other thing is the sleep apnea thing. So I feel like somehow I'm like destroying my brain with sleep apnea. I don't even know if that's a valid thing that happens. I think more of the concern is like, you know, the cardiac issues. See, here we go. This is like the cognitive thing. Like I'm not recalling this word I'm trying to think of. But anyway, the heart issues that come up with sleep apnea is the main thing they talk about. I don't think they even really talk about cognitive issues. But I feel like I'm just always tired. Like, I'm never getting a night's sleep, and I feel like that's impacting my cognition. And I have a CPAP. And I'll go through these cycles where I really make an effort to use it, but like the CPAP itself, I just can't tolerate it. Like, I wake up in the middle of the night because the CPAP is bothering me. Like, it's disrupting my breathing, even though I need the CPAP to make me stop, to make me be able to breathe continuously and not stop breathing. I need it to basically stop me from stopping breathing. It itself like messes with my breathing. So I end up quitting on it all the time. And, you know, I'm overweight. Like, that might solve the problem. But at any rate, basically I've had like essentially untreated sleep apnea for a couple of decades now. And so I don't know if that's impacting my cognition. I don't know. There's just a lot of issues, you know? And like, I can't emotionally deal with things like, you know, like, that's the thing that makes me think I might be on the spectrum. I mean, there's some other issues too, but now I'm about to have to order Starbucks, so I need to wrap this video up. Actually, no, let me pull over so that I can just finish the video naturally. All right, so I like, my emotions would just like overwhelm me sometimes, you know? So something happened today. It's possible that technically I'm wrong, but this makes no friggin' sense to me at all as somebody that has done, you know, dozens, it's got to be dozens at this point, right? Dozens of transactions in real estate. And so I'm selling a house, and we just went under contract, and yesterday, and my realtor's like, yeah, they're doing the inspection today. And I'm like, oh, well, they turned in the earnest and option money, right? And he's like, well, no, but they have 3 days to do it. And I'm like, well, how the hell are we going to let them do an inspection if they haven't paid the option money yet? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's never even been something that's been suggested in all the time I've been in real estate, because it's ludicrous. Like, these big deals that I've been working on, where there's like, at least, high hundreds of thousands, maybe not millions necessarily, but hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, in like a land deal, and the guy's just going to start digging on my land and doing soil tests without even paying an option fee. That doesn't make any sense. And he's like, no, we have no legal ability to stop them. Once you sign the contract, they can do it, but they don't have to do the option money for 3 days. I'm like, so basically they can just get a free option, because if he sees something in the inspection he doesn't like, he can just pull out right now. He's still under his option period, but he never paid his option money. And yeah, I get it that legally he might not have an option because he didn't pay his option money, but it's in this particular case, it's a small property, and he asked for a small option. Well, I guess it's a pretty normal option for a residential property, but he paid $500 for an option, right? I'm not going to sue him over $500. I mean, that's like 2 hours in lawyer's fees. It doesn't make any sense. So basically, from a practical standpoint, he's going to get away with it. And I'm just baffled that this could possibly be the way it works. And my realtor just insists on it. Well, anyway, my point is when I found out about this, and I found out that my realtor was insisting that we let them do this, I just basically got like a panic attack, but it's mixed with rage. It's like panic and rage at the same time, and I just already know I'm just not going to handle this right. So I basically just handed off to my wife. I'm like, yeah, I think you need to talk to this guy, because I'm just basically going to flip out and tell him he's a fucking idiot, all this stuff. So yeah, basically emotional regulation. Like, my emotional regulation is really terrible, for a 49-year-old guy. But, so where's the but? The but that pertains to Charlie is that he's made me feel like I need to do something, I need to be a better person. I need to stop having all of these challenges as an excuse and just be like, you know what? Maybe you are becoming mentally retarded. And, and maybe you don't have emotional regulation. But you know what? That's just reality. You gotta still do something. You still have to have a goal, You still have to be working towards making this world a better place. It doesn't matter what your limitations are. It doesn't matter that you're tired all the time. It doesn't matter that, you can't remember anything. You don't feel like you're up to the task. Too bad. Just do it. Or, just do something, I mean, granted, there are things that are, beyond certain people's capabilities. Like, if you legitimately do have Alzheimer's, then, it's probably going to be pretty hard to run a business or whatever. But I just feel like for me right now, I just need to do something. I did a couple of real estate sales, including this one I'm talking about that just went under contract. And it's like, I have the ability to start a business. And I think I just feel right now like I need to do it, and Charlie's kind of made me feel that way in particular. So I don't know. This video didn't end up I feel like I wanted to say something a little bit more meaningful and profound about Charlie, but I'm feeling rushed now because I pulled over for this Starbucks drive-through, and now the line is actually boxing me in. This was not a smart place to pull over. But anyway, worst video ever, but maybe you got something out of it, or I don't know, whatever. I'm just gonna post it. See ya.